New on Curiosity Stream. She was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Oh, drat. I was driving along minding my own business when that vulgar leech hit my Beamer with his pickup truck. I fear I've fractured my clavicle.
I say, old boy, don't simply put it in the hands of your insurance company to sort it out. Talk with a dedicated row of solicitors at the Advocates Law Firm.
Pipe down, you old sod. The Advocates will see your case through to the bitter end and won't sleep a fortnight until they have victory in their grasp.
Jolly good, old man. Jolly good indeed. You get injured, the Advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Great time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve at Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast an unidentified woman from Cape Town, South Africa. Now, whether you agree or not is irrelevant, but we all understand that during the COVID-19 pandemic, wearing a mask is required in most public spaces, and this is globally speaking. This, of course, includes grocery stores. Well, today's honoree, she went grocery shopping without a mask. Well, a security guard approached her and asked her to put a mask on, but the woman explained she didn't have one. Security guard just said, look, man, I hear you, but you need to wear a mask, otherwise you'll be escorted out of the store. And at the same time, some other customers are giving her some grief. Well, that's when our honoree did some quick improvisation. She reaches under her dress, removes her black thong underwear, wraps them around her face as a mask, asks the security guard, you happy now? And the security guard was. So it's gross, but good enough, man. She was allowed to finish shopping.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, they got the video out there.
All right.
You watch this, right? She's going back and forth. She's not really fighting the security guard, but it's like, hey, man, I don't have a mask. Security guard is being a security guard. Like, look, I don't necessarily care, but you can't be here. So she's like, fine. You see her reach under her dress, pulls out her black thong, puts it over her head, which, no offense, I don't know if I'd put my body temperature warm-ass underwear on my face immediately. Give it a little time to cool down. Anyway, she did. It's like, you happy? And they're like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What kind of store was it?
It's a grocery store. I mean, you look at the videos, it's just a regular grocery store, and she just reaches down and pulls out a black thong. That said, when you see the woman and then you see her underwear, you're kind of surprised that that's the underwear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was a little
good.
Like,
okay,
good for you, Mama.
Like, get a little,
I think what's going on. Okay.
Get a little home cooking.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I get the feeling she's not the first person to wear her underwear on a face. We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Hey, Steve at Throwhill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the stories, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Hello, Shirley. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola. Is this the big Shirley we were talking about, or is this an entirely different Shirley?
This is the Big Shirley.
Yeah, Big Shirley, you finally called. All right, Big Shirley, you understand how this here game is played?
Indeed, I do.
All right, so you know you have your choice of one of three stories. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Let's go interior decorating.
Let's. Glad you like that.
Karaoke night with Big Shirley. I'm digging it.
No Texas fat bottom girls.
All right. All right, Shirley, here's your story. A 69-year-old married gentleman was referred to the surgical on-call team by his general medical practitioner with a rather embarrassing problem. Now, the patient had suffered from a long history of hemorrhoids. Well, one particular evening, the symptoms were so severe that a simple scratching with his fingers did not provide adequate relief. It was while he was in the bathroom that he had the idea of using a little something to, quote, augment the action. Unfortunately, he claims that the object slipped and entered his rectum. Neither he nor his doctor were able to, quote, rescue the item. It was decided it would need surgical removal. Now, the patient's medical history, they say, was unremarkable except for a history of some disease I cannot pronounce, but either way, it affects your butt. So he's had multiple enemas. He's had all kinds of things done on his butt. This has been a problem for him for decades. Well, on examination, the patient appeared anxious, but blood pressure, pulse, respiratory rate, and temperature all within normal range. His abdomen was soft and not tender. On inspection of his anus, external piles, meaning his hemorrhoids, they were seen, but no foreign body was evident. However, when they did a radiograph, that's when they realized he's not kidding. There is something, in fact, stuck in his butt. The patient subsequently went a rigid surgery without anesthetic. And after much difficulty, the object was recovered from the man's rectum using forceps. After a period of observation, they repeated the procedure to see if there's any evidence of perforation or bleeding. Eventually, he was discharged back to his doctor. He's expected to recover. The question is, what did he decide to insert into his rectum to soothe his itchy hemorrhoids? Was it a toothbrush, deodorant, a hairbrush, or a comb? So toothbrush, deodorant, hairbrush, or comb?
Oh, man, that's a mess. Let's see. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, not that I know anybody who's had hemorrhoids, but they do tend to itch, okay? So if he was going in for a scratch, unfortunately, the natural thing I would think to find would be a small brush. I don't think a comb would be the right thing to put up there, because that's a little rough.
None of these are the right thing to put up there.
Deodorant is not going to do anything for you as far as helping you out down there.
But he doesn't know that.
He doesn't. I'm going to go somewhere in the realm of toothbrush and hairbrush, and based on the fact that he put it in there and it slipped and went up in, surely I'm going toothbrush.
I was kind of thinking that too. I mean, some hairbrushes have bristles as well, but it's a rather larger item. I think that toothbrush would probably be a good guess.
All right, so it's me and you, Big Shirley, on the toothbrush.
All right.
Okay, Ted?
Yeah, I mean, toothbrush makes sense, but a lot of times this game isn't about what makes sense. I could see putting a toothbrush up there and trying to get a little scrub in.
Yeah.
Get the itch out.
Thank you for the hand gesture to show me how you would do it, Ted.
Yeah, the twirl, too.
I have a feeling, though, that this guy is old school, and he's not using a gel. He's not using the white stuff. He's using a roll-on deodorant.
Ooh.
And I know from a guy I know that had a surgery back there, apparently if things go too far, they just...
Right, it gets
and they're
sucked
gone.
up like
It's
a
like the
vacuum
bank
tube.
machine.
That's exactly right.
So I think he tried to put on some roll-on deodorant on the backside, and then he got it too far, and, yeah.
Keep in mind, they keep mentioning in the article, he claims that's why it was there.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call.
I mean,
he might have just been putting stuff up there.
Right. They say, look, he has hemorrhoids. Of that, no one would dispute that. They can see it plainly as medical history says this. But they kept adding to the story. He claims this is how it happened. Or this is why it happened.
Hemorrhoid people are funny, too. As you can tell, they're in pain. But, like, they'll never admit it. And finally, it's like, it's my hemorrhoids. Like, all right, well, just say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, think about it. You okay, man? My hemorrhoids. It's just not, it's not that.
Yeah, I just think, like, they're so painful, it's okay to say.
Okay, I got you.
It's amazing if you have preparation H, though, what that cream could do.
Yeah.
If you wake up after a night of throwing up, whatever, you just put that stuff under your eyes, your bags are gone.
Ooh, I should keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's serious. Like if you have school picture day or something, kids, just remember a little preparation H under the eyes. It won't look like you're hungover at all.
It's called Monday.
So you're going to go, Shirley, with a toothbrush final answer?
Yeah, let's go toothbrush.
Okay. We're going to find out. We're going to find out what he inserted up there. Was it a toothbrush, deodorant, a hairbrush, or comb? We're going to find out next.
That was a tease.
New on Curiosity Stream.
Just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean you can't.
Watch Earth's greatest minds forge our path to a better tomorrow. It's engineering the future. And Jaws, Star Wars, The Godfather, E.T. The biggest movies have even bigger music, from King Kong to The Dark Knight. See how musicians scored Hollywood's greatest hits on great film composers' music of the movies. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Oh, drat. I was driving along minding my own business when that vulgar leech hit my Beamer with his pickup truck. I fear I've fractured my clavicle.
I say, old boy, don't simply put it in the hands of your insurance company to sort it out. Talk with the dedicated road solicitors at the Advocates Law Firm.
Pipe down, you old sod. The Advocates will see your case through to the bitter end and won't sleep a fortnight until they have victory in their grasp.
Jolly good, old man. Jolly good indeed. You get injured, the Advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Back to the conversation. This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Category of third, decorating on profile. This married man had a bad case of hemorrhoids. Decided to do a little scratching there. He was scratching with something, and it slipped up in there, and it disappeared. Doctor actually had to get some forceps and pull it on out. Question was, what accidentally ended up on his backside? Toothbrush, deodorant, a hairbrush, or a comb?
And that is the very question that we posed to Big Shirley, who finally called in. She has since hung up. The Ted Smith, you went with deodorant.
Oh, yeah, the roll-on.
No. Yeah.
Roll out.
Nope. And then Big Shirley agreed with our very own Miles Montgomery, who said toothbrush because it makes the most sense.
Okay.
You are correct. Toothbrush in the booty.
Sounds more like a butt brush.
I hope he used someone else's.
The old Oral-B. Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, Armageddon, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today, Seth Meyers, the Jimmys,
Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Fallon.
or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted?
Gotcha, my bad.
Or is it late night?
That's right, it's right there in the title. All these guys have teams of talents and writers that come up with those monologues each and every night, and it's up to you to determine, is this an actual late-night joke, and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
The Philadelphia airport is testing out a food delivery robot. The robot gets the food, that puts it in a cargo bin, and then is delivered to a passenger after following a human helper. A device that carries food but needs help of a human. There's another word for that. It's called a tray.
Seth Meyers.
Ted Smith.
Jim Fallon.
Hey, so the Philadelphia International Airport is testing out a food delivering robot.
A traveler orders the food on their phone using a website or an app. Then the robot goes to pick up the food, which is then kept in the cargo bin, then delivering it to the passenger after following a human helper.
A device that carries food but needs a human. There's another word for that. It's called the tray.
It's going to be a tough one. Amazon Echo 10 is coming out. It's going to be the creepiest Alexa ever. What makes it different is it follows you around the room. There's a screen on the little arm, so it follows you wherever you go. I have 2 small kids at home. I don't need another thing follow me around telling me what to buy.
Seth Meyers.
Kids at home. Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Have you seen the new Alexa thing? Amazon Echo Show 10 promises to be their creepiest Alexa yet. What makes this Echo different is it follows you around the room. The screen's on a little arm, and so wherever you go, the camera goes. I have 2 small kids at home. I don't need another thing following me around telling me to buy stuff, all right?
Now, if you guys saw this in the news, so Mr. Potato Head is no longer a Mr. Hasbro, the company that makes the potato-shaped plastic toy, is giving the Spud a general neutral new name, Steve Harvey.
Ted Smith.
I was like, all right, you don't call him Mr., you still got to call him Steve. Oh, I was looking at pictures all day of split screens of Mr. Potato Head, Steve Harvey. Yeah. Well, who was the other one? Don Rickles. But I was like, Don Rickles is old school. Like, I don't know if people will get that. And he didn't have a thick black mustache.
No, he did not.
Mustache.
Fact.
I feel you.
A 105-year-old woman in New Jersey is making news for surviving the coronavirus. And when asked for her longevity, she simply said, gin-soaked raisins. Gin-soaked raisins, so basically Jell-O shots for old people.
Seth Meyers. Yeah, I'll say Seth.
Valid.
A 105-year-old woman in New Jersey is trending this morning after surviving the coronavirus. When asked about her longevity, she simply said, gin-soaked golden raisins.
Gin-soaked raisins. So basically Jell-O shots for the greatest generation.
I noticed in that report they said golden raisins.
Yeah, they're real specific.
Mm-hmm. So are golden raisins, you think, bigger than regular raisins?
I think they're a little bigger, but they absorb any kind of liquid better.
I also think they come from white grapes.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, anytime I worked in a restaurant, if we were soaking raisins or something, it was always the white raisins. Yellow raisins, whatever. Golden raisins, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to go down a raisin trap. But I was thinking, I don't know. I've been talking about this lady for 2 days. And I'm like, do I want to soak raisins now?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime they say, hey, man, here's a fruit you can soak in alcohol, I'm like, let's try it.
Yeah, exactly.
It packs a punch. And if you put fruit in the bottom of the bowl, man, when you just have a bite after a couple hours, you're like, whoa, that thing's got a kick to it.
Let's see. Thrill, actually, I got this one from you, but kind of interesting. So Scooby-Doo over on Bloomberg, Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, where every episode there's a new celebrity guest star. So tonight, the gang gets some mystery-solving help from Axl Rose.
I mean,
of course. Who else did you think they'd pick?
I don't know.
When you think Scooby-Doo.
Right. Did you think, I don't know, Dave Grohl? Come on.
Yeah, they even say here, turns out he's old friends with Shaggy and Scooby, but there's no word if their backstory involves any illicit substances.
I think he knows what the Scooby snacks are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think it's funny in the clip they released. It said singer, songwriter, musician, and total rock god, Axl Rose.
On Scooby-Doo.
He must be a fan of Scooby-Doo. And they asked him, he's like, hell yeah, man. I grew up on that.
He's not the kind of guy you just approach for BS.
And he's also not the stoner type. He never strikes me as that guy. Now, if you brought in, the guys from the Grateful Dead or some jam band, of course they know Shaggy and Scooby, man. They've been in the van all the time. But
yeah, I guess Axl Rose, too, I know he took forever making Chinese Democracy and some of this stuff. So he's definitely out there. But also, to his credit, you don't read a ton about him in tabloids or any of that stuff.
He's a very private guy.
He's obviously a massive rock star and was one of the biggest stars in the world. I don't know. I just don't think about him on the same levels. You just never hear about him.
That's part of what I think the allure is about him. He's a rock icon, right? They did their thing 30, 35 years ago, but there's just something about him. And like you said, in spite of the fact that he's not in the public eye much,
if you know
somehow that serves the mystery that is Axl Rose.
If you know everything about somebody or a lot about somebody, there's nothing to understand, think about. There's no mystery behind it. Somebody like Prince.
You didn't know anything about it.
I mean, you don't know. Oh, my God, he's in a Laker game.
Because it was never about the cult of personality. There was someone like Cardi B, and nothing against her, but she's out there, right? She's doing her thing. So part of the reason people like her is because they also enjoy her social media presence, where Axl Rose is the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, but I mean, even Dave Grohl, I don't think...
Grohl?
That's how he rolls.
Dave Grohl, yeah.
Yesterday, I forgot to mention, was my buddy Brendan Looney. There was a seal that passed away. Would have been his 40th. So there was a bit of whiskey that was drank last night.
Oh, is that why you're struggling so much today?
Oh my God!
I mean, you haven't been awful, but I can tell
I didn't open my bottle of Tito's.
6 times as much effort just to form sentences today, man.
I thought I'd be okay with some of the old tobacco guys. We got to BSing, and
I was wondering when you're cracking up about Wolfman Jack. Dead 95. So was his wife.
What is going on?
What is happening today?
Oh, yeah. Then I had a little Instagram with Taryn there, yeah. So
God,
man,
right,
put
okay.
it
on, dude.
Yeah.
Were you just mumbling through the thing?
It was fine. I told Mike they did seem that crazy, but I realized, like, Taryn and I had a couple.
Yeah.
DB and I had a couple. I was texting with people, and they're like, it's an East Coast time. We're already drinking. I was like, yeah, let me pour one. Now it adds up why I was walking to a grocery store to buy a bottle of damn Jameson last night.
And prunes.
I know, but I forgot to get them. Anyhow, Axl Rose will be on Scooby-Doo and Guess Who?
What time does that come on again? You say it was on tonight?
Check your local listing.
Okay, what was the network that it's on?
Bloomberg.
Okay.
Don't you think Scooby-Doo and Bloomberg?
I just didn't think it would be a primetime show on a Thursday night. I thought it would be like something you would watch. I don't know. Like
I don't know what it's on, because, I mean, obviously they're doing it for kids, but...
That's what I mean.
What's weird about you're doing it for kids and Axl Rose is the guy.
So I'm assuming it's 8 o'clock.
Like, Axl Rose is a big deal to me. I'm 52. I can go up to my kids at 10 and 8 and be like, hey, Axl Rose is on Scooby-Doo. And they'd be like, great. Who the hell is Axl Rose?
Even if they watched the show and liked it, they wouldn't care.
They wouldn't know who he is, yeah.
Ooh, God.
Oh!
You need a roll of toilet paper?
I almost did earlier, man. It was... to go to the bathroom and check myself. My kids were upset, however, that they did not get to hear and or talk to Angus Young from AC/DC.
Oh, really?
Well,
that's cool.
Yeah. They love TNT, therefore they love AC/DC. So as soon as it was explained to them who I was going to be talking to, my son just started singing TNT the rest of the night. TNT. They love AC/DC. I'm like, yeah, that's the guy.
Let's see. So Paramount Plus is coming out.
They've been doing a lot of advertising.
They have. Basically, right now, it's CBS All Access. They're just kind of rebranding.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
But, right, they're going to launch on March 4th. Now, I got to admit, though, they got some good stuff on here. You've probably heard that there's going to be a revival of Frasier, which, Miles, calm down.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
I can't wait. God, I hate that show.
It will star Kelsey Grammer. There's no word on cast members. But if you like that era of TV shows, there's actually some good ones that like people will like. Rugrats. Yeah. A lot of people watched that when they were children. This is going to be a CG animated series.
There's really, Mike, you're that much of a Rugrats purist?
Yes. Yes,
What's the difference? I mean, it was a cartoon before.
I get it. Okay, but
it's not real people, Mike.
Didn't they revamp the Looney Tunes to be all 3D now, too?
I think I read something about that. I don't know if it's out yet.
Okay. I'm just... the way that they are streamlining these reboots and changing them so much... For some reason, when you switch from the 2D to the 3D, it screws up the show. I don't know why the writing goes bad in that circumstance.
I think it's the right
CG.
It seems like when you CG... I will agree with this. It seems like once you CG it, somehow the writing becomes garbage.
Right.
Compared to,
it's more about the effect.
The visual, right.
Right.
Well, that's kind of what happened with the Turtles.
So what happened
exactly.
What happened
Star Wars, the Turtles, you name it, right? You forget that, like, underneath all of this, we would also like to be entertained.
Right.
Paramount Plus is also going to have a new show set in the universe of Avatar, The Last Airbender.
The Last Airbender.
Yeah. The Last Airbender I knew was a vapor.
That would be a great name for the vape pen, man.
Right. Airbender.
Oh, man, I'm twisted now.
Do you remember when that was like a thing for a while?
What's that?
So, like, nowadays you'll see people using, like, Juuls or disposable ones.
Yeah.
But for a while, remember, people had, like, those big cartridges and like when vapes kind of started. And that was, like, a massive thing. There was, like, vape conventions or people were, like, blowing circles and then shooting stuff through them, like arrows, all made out of the vape smoke.
Mm-hmm. The good old days.
Let's see. New animated series, Star Trek Prodigy. iCarly's getting a reboot. Anyhow, forget that stuff. You want the adult stuff. Oh, yeah, you guys are watching some old school vapors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You guys got skills.
That's actually pretty damn cool.
It is.
MTV Behind the Music. Did you guys ever watch that show?
Yeah, I mean, depending on the band. You know, even if you didn't like the band.
It could be about the Go-Go's. You're like, this is really fascinating.
The band sucks, but the story's usually pretty interesting.
Go-Go's.
They're bringing back some old MTV stuff. Miles, what's a show you saw somebody get punched for once?
On MTV?
Yeah.
Saw somebody get punched because of the show? Oh, that would be me.
Yeah.
UMTV Raps.
Yep.
I didn't see someone get punched. I just saw the fist coming in my face.
Oh, you got punched.
Yeah. I got that crap knocked out of me.
He saw a guy punch
Yeah.
him.
Oh, yeah.
Unplugged will be back, and then they're going to have a reunion of the New York cast of The Real World, which we're so used to reality TV now, but you got to keep in mind, when that the New York version was the first one.
Yeah.
That was...
It was groundbreaking.
It was unbelievable. Right. It was crazy. You're like, I can't believe this is actually happening.
I'm glad they're bringing some of that stuff back, only because Unplugged, it doesn't matter what artist you like. When you hear the stripped-down version, it's always interesting, right? And behind the music, like I said, there's a lot of bands that I don't care about, but their story's interesting.
Yeah. Miles, here's something you'll enjoy, because Reno 911 had a little comeback on the 15-minute
for like
network.
a second, yeah.
Right. I think, what was that?
Quibi?
Right, but then Quibi's already gone. So Reno 911...
It lasted as long as it shows.
Yeah, so Reno 911, thankfully, they're going to have a reboot on here on the Paramount Plus, which I'm also guessing will be more of a classic 30-minute episode. No commercials, so what's that, 22 minutes or whatever?
Yeah, about 22.
So that'll be cool. The return of Inside Amy Schumer, which was a very funny show on Comedy Central. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was looking at this.
Paramount is actually doing all right. Usually, I'm not that excited when I hear all these, because there's so many streaming services, but this does sound like pretty solid, man.
Right. A lot of this stuff, like they're saying, like, hey, day one, this isn't all going to be there. They still got to produce it. And then for me personally, I used to love the show Workaholics. They're going to make a movie about that and a new movie about Beavis and Butthead.
Huh. All right. Yeah. Good for you, Paramount Plus.
People will sign up.
I mean, that's the way to do it. Have stuff we want to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Quibi missed that. I mean, I get what they were trying to do. We'll just make 10, 15-minute videos because people's attention spans have gone down. But part of it, people's attention spans go down when it's not worth paying attention to anymore. If you're engaged...
The other problem they had was you couldn't see any of it. So you saw...
Right.
Like, Baby Yoda was everywhere, right? I don't even know Star Wars, but that Baby Yoda dude was everywhere.
Can't escape.
Mm-hmm. So you knew it was the Mandalorian, but you could kind of, like, talk about it and see it and this and that. Like, with Quibi, you just had to... You hear commercials like, yeah, Reno 911's back, but there was no, like...
They never showed clips, right? It never got talked about. And, I mean, look, if you're in the business of doing entertainment, you want people to be able to review and talk about what you're doing.
Yeah, and you're right. I think sometimes... right, because the guy that put that together is
well, I don't want to say he's an idiot. He did well in many businesses, just not this one.
Right, it kind of reminds me of like 6-minute abs or 7-minute abs, right?
What if we did 5-minute abs?
Right, I screwed up. But that's what I'm saying. Like, he's right. Like, TikTok's huge. People don't want to, like, short attention span, but also, like, I don't know that the world was clamoring for 15-minute shows.
They weren't.
Sometimes two good ideas. It's like, you ever have two ingredients and you love both of them, but you put them together.
Work together.
Yeah, this is bad. Like, I love ketchup, but it doesn't belong on this.
But the thing with the attention span argument, which a lot of people say, I'm like, right, but we also develop a lot of things for a short attention. That's what TikTok is. Some of the people have short attention spans. That TikTok is, here's a real quick hit, right? But people still watch NFL football all day.
Yeah.
It's a 3-hour game, and it's like you don't if you're engaged with what you're watching, you don't care. God, I miss football.
Correct.
That's what I mean. It's the most basic. If people are interested in what you're doing, they will pay attention until it's not interesting. It has nothing to do with your attention span. It's, are they engaged? Because if they are, they're going to watch it until it's done.
Right. Well, it's like me and Miles kind of always joke about, right? Like, somebody's like, do you want to watch a 2.5-hour movie? Like, yeah, I don't know. But like tonight, I'll watch 3 damn episodes of the new El Queridito, which are like an hour long a piece.
So you sit there for 3
hours. So I sat there for 3 hours
it's
watching
the same thing
TV.
as reading a book, man. It's like, do you want to read the whole book right now? No, but I'll get through a couple chapters. It's like,
exactly.
That's the way I look at a movie.
And here's the thing.
If I keep on reading, then I'll keep on reading.
But if the book gets good, now you're like, God damn, it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
I should go to bed. Let me just finish the
chapter. But you could cut it off at any time.
Yeah. Let's see. If you're going to watch something tonight, a couple of the late night shows I'll recommend. Jimmy Fallon has on Eddie Murphy, who's a legend. And then Jimmy Kimmel has on somebody that was involved in a joke today. Steve Harvey.
Coming to America 2. I know that was being advertised a lot for Netflix back probably.
It's still coming.
So it's not out yet.
I don't believe it's out yet. They're still advertising.
So he's probably promoting something along
I think
those
that's
lines.
coming to Netflix in March, I believe.
Because that's one I'll definitely watch. I hope it's as good as the first one. Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
New on Curiosity Stream, she was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
Relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
Well, great balls of fire, Bubba. What happened, Buford? That crazy son of a Sal blew right through that four-way stop on Main Street and plowed into my cowboy Cadillac.
Your what?
My pickup truck. And I'm pretty sure my leg is broken, Ted. Oh, quit your bitching, Buford, and talk with those side busters at the Advocates Law Firm. When I got busted up last month, well, shoot, they made sure those snakes at the insurance company played fair.
Boy, howdy. Even that creepy so-and-so Kyle earned his keep.
So if you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Man calls 911 to tell cops he shot a naked man who was knocking on his door. Meanwhile, a teacher's aide on a Zoom class looks like he's doing that thing where he'll need to wipe up the floor. Sailor falls off ship, floats for 14 hours clinging to floating debris. At Michigan Library, venomous spiders are what students didn't want to see. And 3 high-end Jeeps stolen from one Miami neighborhood in 20 minutes. None of them found. It's time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, top story. We got to Illinois where someone reported a bird that they found. Wanting to be a good citizen, the person gave a statement to police that was later reported, and it reads, quote, missing chicken. Found 1501 North Illinois. Loud, belligerent, non-cooperative, foul-smelling, won't leave. If you've lost your chicken, call us. Serious police work here, folks. They're currently still on the lookout for the owner.
Oh, for the chicken.
Right, for the chicken. A very belligerent chicken.
You got 2 days to find him before homie ends up on a plate.
Right. The thing is that birds, especially chickens, are already known to not be exactly the friendliest of animals. Now, granted, there's always exceptions to the rule, but how bad do you have to be considered belligerent as a chicken?
Right. Like, what kind of chicken are you?
What kind of a fight did you put up to where you are now a belligerent chicken? In other news, some drama at the University of Michigan. The library had to be evacuated after a spooky find in the basement. Down in the storage area of the library, staffers found no less than 3 brown recluse spiders crawling about. They were able to identify them after they managed to capture one in a glue trap and sent it to a professional. And after about 2 days, they were able to let people back into the library.
Yeah, no thanks.
Who's going to the library right now?
I don't know. But, man, our library in my neighborhood was closed for most of it.
Right.
Just based on expenses and the fact that it's a smaller library and
nobody's going
out.
Yeah.
Just thinking that's why you have brown recluse spiders in there. There's
nobody's been there, right?
It's in the basement for one, so it's already not all that. Yeah. We've seen several acts of protest against the mask mandates throughout the nation, but one going viral online may take the prize. We covered this just a little bit earlier today. Video shows the shopper in the store without a mask on and a security guard telling her that she would need to put one on or be escorted out. We all know the scenario, and after several claims that she didn't have one, the demands persisted. She solves the problem by going up her skirt, removing her thong, and placing it about her face.
It's convenient that she was wearing a skirt, though.
It really is.
Because if I had to do it, I'd have to drop my pants, pull off my underwear.
Yeah.
Not that I would do that, actually. I think I would be like, I'll come back later.
And there are some people that are wondering if it's fake.
I saw that. A bunch of people want. It might be.
Because she was waiting in line to check out, which means that she had gone throughout that entire store, gotten a full cartload of stuff, and now she's in the checkout line. So
could have been fake, but she definitely put her underwear on her head.
Yes, that is absolutely 100% true.
That much I know to be true.
And it's feasible. I've done it.
You put
no, just like you forget you're not wearing a mask.
Gotcha.
Oh, right.
And you're like, and then I got up to the counter, and the guy was like, "Dude, you need to put on a mask." And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Sometimes you just brain fart, man. Yeah. I tried to light a cigarette on the elevator the other day.
Oh,
I'm
no,
like, hey! Because I was going out to smoke.
Sure.
So Miles and I were talking. Let's pull the smoke out, put it in my mouth, grab my lighter, took a pipe. And Miles was like, whoa! I'm like, oh, Jesus, right.
In the elevator.
Yeah.
Did you actually light it, though?
Yeah. For like a billionth of a second. I'm like, oh, God damn it, man. Yeah.
You were going to get the doggone thing shut down. You guys were going to get stuck.
Had I been on the elevator by myself, it would have been a much different scenario.
Yeah. Walking out with a lit cigarette. Oh, damn it. Sorry. In Florida, a photographer admiring nature ended up helping an animal in need. The photographer had heard about a pelican in the area that was injured and eventually found it while out and about.
You know, there's pelicans in New Mexico, too, man.
That's true.
Sorry.
We've learned so much about pelicans in the past few weeks. Finding the animal that had a metal rod sticking through its neck.
Jesus.
You guys see the picture of this thing?
No.
It is awful.
I'm going to Google it now.
Yeah, man.
Looks like it might have flown into something coming down the water and just got impaled.
Maybe.
Crazy
honestly,
thing is, they tried to get this pelican, right? They tried to get it with a net.
Correct.
Well, 2 other pelicans were right there beside it.
Correct.
So when they threw the net out, they ended up getting these 3 pelicans like tangled in a net. All 3 of them are pissed off. All are attacking and biting these people trying to get this one pelican out of there to take to the.
It was an issue because originally the pelican was actually in a big group and they just wanted to get the one by itself. You're absolutely right. Then he jumped up onto like a pier or a dock or a wall or something like that, and then they fired the net, and like 2 others showed up just as the net was being fired. So that's how you got 3 of them all wrapped up. Because they didn't want this thing thrashing around and hitting everybody with this metal rod that's stuck in his neck. So they did manage to get it to the sanctuary that it needed to go to get
fly, pelican, fly.
The Pelican Sanctuary, yes.
Pelican Sanctuary. You know what I'm going to do when I grow up, Mom? I'm going to open up a Pelican Sanctuary.
Because apparently they're in all 50 states.
They are. There's pelicans everywhere, man. They do not care. They will find anywhere.
The more you know.
To go home.
Yeah, I was glad I was in Florida. It's like, I told you they're only in Florida. I know what I'm talking about.
It's probably like Buzz Aldrin. We saw one on the moon.
It's just the Gulf of Mexico states. That's it.
There's 8 of them on the International Space Station.
Houston, what is that? Moon pelican. Another one out of Florida. Police received a report one night about a naked man disturbing the neighborhood. The man was walking about with nothing on him but a Bible in his hand and was knocking on doors. Sweet. God
Can I convert you?
Well, on their way to the scene, they got another call from the area from a man that said that he had shot the intruder. When they got there, they found the naked man bleeding on the ground, and the shooter surrendered himself to authorities. The naked man was taken to the hospital, and the resident is being questioned.
If you don't know the person and you're naked, don't knock on their door.
Right.
The Book of Peter.
That's a good call, though.
Right. This guy surrendered to the police because, there's a naked man knocking on my door. Yeah, sorry, I gotta shoot this guy.
Yeah, shot him. I don't know him. He's naked. He knocked on my door.
This is not okay. And that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawkins out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you for the weekend. The return of Bad Choice Friday and Ted versus the FCC.
Yes, and diddly do, bitches. But in the meantime, we be all up out this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.